started playing competitive table tennis almost 3 years ago with a starting rating of 1008. Over the course of 15 tournaments, I've been able to grind my rating from 1008 to 1766. Over the course of the next 6 months, I'm going to challenge myself to train as hard as possible to see if I can hit the golden benchmark of table tennis, 2000. This is weeks 3 and 4 of group training, where every Sunday, Coach Richard has a group of students train for 3 hours where you pair up with a partner, run through drills, and then play some mini games at the end of the lesson.
Yo, what's up guys? Josh, MusclePong here, back in the studio. And today I wanted to talk about 5 tips that will help you improve from being an amateur. In specific, I want to talk about how I broke past the plateau of around like 1400 to 1500 USATT, just because I noticed a lot of trends that kept me stuck there. And granted, I wasn't stuck there for too long, relatively speaking, but I've noticed a few trends in this level of play that really keeps people from progressing to the 1600s and beyond. So that's exactly what I'm going to cover. And even if you already broke past this plateau yourself, I think these tips will be a good reminder to continue implementing the tactics that got you past that plateau, especially when you play at a higher level. So number 1 is to be aggressive. What I mean by this is you basically want to open up as much as possible and take shots when you can take them. I think it's so common to see, like, especially at the 1400 level, just like push wars, right? It's like 20 pushes in a row and no one's like no one opens up, right? It's like everyone's too scared to open up and mess up. But the truth is, like, as you get to a higher level, better players are going to open up. And when you open up, not only do you create chances for yourself to win the point, but you're going to put more pressure on your opponent, which will cause the opponent to mess up, right? An easy way to just practice opening up is, like, instead of like pushing to push and like be safe and get it on the table, try to push to set yourself up for opportunities, right? For me, a very common sequence is I'll try to push and then immediately prepare to like step around or hit a forehand, right? Since forehand's my specialty. If you're a 2-wing looper, then you can push and open up with either side. The easiest way to kind of like adopt this be aggressive mindset is to do things to set yourself up to attack. And once you start doing that, you're gonna notice a huge difference. Even if you start messing up more, it's much better to do this and fail than just push forever and then just be stuck in these push battles, right? Because the truth is, if you get into a push battle with someone that's better than you, they're just gonna open up and punish you. So that's why I don't recommend it. And you're just gonna be capped in terms of your skill potential. Tip number 2 is to vary your serves. I actually think serve game is so important, and it's something I need to practice more myself. I see comments all the time talking about how to practice my serve. And even upon review of my own match footage, there are some tendencies I have, which is like serving 80% of the time to the backhand or like not having a good like left hooking serve, because I usually just do like a pendulum. In general, like when I talk about varying your serve, there are a few main things you want to do. So like an easy strategy right here you can implement in your game today is everyone knows how to underspin serve, right? I'm assuming you can underspin serve. So try to mix in an underspin serve as well as a no spin serve. This actually gets me a lot of points because I can make my motion look the same. The key with serve variation is you want to keep the motion the same. So like whether that's top spin or underspin, or in this case, underspin or no spin. When I do the no spin serve, people misjudge the spin and then they pop it up, and that gives me an easy attack, right? Likewise, if people think it's no spin, but it's actually underspin, then they're gonna flick it into the net. In general, you want to be deceptive. I think with the hook serve, you know, you can implement a kick serve. I think kick serves are great, especially when you're in 9-9 situations where the opponent doesn't expect it, assuming you haven't been like spamming the serve. So in general, a good rule of thumb I like to think about is to have 2 different types of serves, ideally spinning different directions. So right spinning serve is just like a pendulum serve, and then left spinning serve, you can do like a hook serve or a reverse pendulum serve or backhand serve. And just having like 2 different spins will really help you open up your arsenal of weapons. And then on top of the 2 different spins, you want to have like 3 different variations for each spin. So like top spin, no spin, and underspin. Ideally, your top spin can be a kick serve, because I think especially at the amateur level, people really struggle with kick serves. Even I struggle with kick serves when I'm playing, and I'm still an amateur, but like I'm not like in 1400 range, right? Like hopefully I don't ever drop there again. Yeah, I think like in general, just having a kick serve really throws your opponent off. So that's what I recommend in terms of serves. Tip number 3 is practice your third ball attack. This kind of goes in line with being aggressive, but to be honest, once I mastered, or like quote unquote mastered, like got better at my third ball attack, that's actually what skyrocketed me to like 1600 plus is because I could rely on just winning the point every single time I serve, which is 50% of the time. Theoretically, if you can just like win one opponent's serve in the game and then win all your serves, then you win the game, right? Or I guess like two, yeah, win by two. So like two of their serves. And essentially an easy way to win your serves every time is to have a good third ball attack. Assuming you're trying to do like a third ball attack with a looping, then the best way to practice this is just to do like multi-ball training for like underspin feeding. Or you can just practice your third ball attack and like, let's say serve underspin, then your opponent just pushes it random and then you just practice looping, right? Like I'm telling you, if you have a really good third ball attack, you're gonna break past this barrier of like the 1400 zone really easily, just because having a good third ball attack just like automatically instills in you the be aggressive mindset. So the aggression is gonna bleed over to like other situations, not just on the serve. A lot of the reason people get stuck in like the 1400 land is because they don't know how to attack. I remember like I played one guy who he told me to like private the video of our match that Panda Pong reviewed, because he said like his colleagues saw it and he got embarrassed. But I was thinking like, hey, this is actually like free coaching for you and to learn not to push every time. Jokes aside, the reason that he beat me was because he outpushed me and then I got scared and like started missing my attacks. But I'm like 100% confident if I play this guy again, who he's been stuck in like 1400, 1500 zone himself. If I played him again, it'd be super easy because he just pushes long like every time and he doesn't know how to open, right? It's actually very easy to beat the people who only push, because eventually they're gonna push one that you can open and then you just win that way. But the only way you can win like that is if you have a good third ball attack or opening in general. All right, tip number 4 is to get down your mental. So what do I mean by this, right? For me, as you guys know, I have a really loud ass cho. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean to like cho super loud. I went through a period where like I try to be like more humble or like quiet. You know, I feel kind of bad that I'm like disrupting the neighbors. But dude, when you're playing a match, you gotta have that competitive mindset. I remember one time I asked Richard like, hey, do you think I'm like choing too much? And he's like, no, you should cho louder. Like you gotta do whatever it takes to win. The truth is, you know, table tennis is a competitive sport. If it wasn't competitive, then you guys wouldn't be watching my content or like analyzing the shit out of it. So you gotta just embrace the fact that you're in it to win it. Like, yeah, you know, you don't wanna be a dick. Like there's no need to be like mean to people you play against, but that's also like not an excuse not to get in the zone, right? Now I'm not saying you gotta have the loudest cho in the arena, but figure out what works well for you. Like for example, you could take towel breaks every 6 points, or you should do that. Figure out like a pre-serve ritual, or like after you win or if you're losing. You know, there's a lot of momentum in this game of table tennis. So I think just understanding like what your leaks are mentally and then plugging those will also help you a lot. And this honestly is like, I would say, just every level. Like if you're really good skill wise, but you always choke in matches, then that's not a skill issue, that's a mental issue. So what I'll do for you guys is, you know, obviously like record your matches so that you can analyze what's going wrong, and then figure out if you have any mental leaks, because the truth is they're like, I wanna say they're easy to plug, but they're actually not. But I do think that once you find a solution for them, it's a very easy way to start like playing a lot better in matches. All right, the 5th and final tip is to train with intention. So I think I mentioned this in the last video in terms of like tips for amateurs, but the truth is like we only have a certain amount of time to play ping pong, and unless you're unemployed like me right now, you know, you probably have like only a few hours to play, right? Even for me, even though like I have a lot of time, I'm really busy with like YouTube content, and then I know for sure once I start working full time again, I'm not gonna have the time to like train as hard as I want to. So that's why I'm trying to make the most of my time now. What that means for you guys is every time you guys go to the club, have a plan, right? Figure out like a few things you wanna work on and then work on those things. Don't just go aimlessly and drop in and then like play for fun or whatever. Unless you're just trying to play to like have fun and burn calories, then that's fine. But if you're trying to improve, like I'm sure many of you guys are, then you need to go into every single situation with a game plan. And this doesn't apply to just training, this also applies to matches as well. Like let's say you have like a weekly league like I do, set 3 goals for yourself every single league, right? You guys see I'm starting to do that, and like focus on those goals, because at the end of the day, if you practice and you're like doing drills, but then you don't implement what you're practicing in gameplay, then you're never gonna improve and your tournament rating is never gonna go up. That's number 5, train with intention. And I can assure you, if you implement any of these tips, you're gonna see massive improvement in your play, especially if you're stuck in the 1500 land. And there's nothing more frustrating than playing for a long time and getting stuck. I totally get it. So another bonus tip is just to record yourself. I'm gonna keep harping on this concept because even right now, my buddy Matt, he's training down in NorCal with Coley. He's doing like a 6-week training type of curriculum with him. I think he's just getting like 5 lessons a week. I believe he's training 3 times with Coley and 2 times with his assistant coach. And it wasn't until like recently where I basically like pressured him to like start recording, where he started doing it, because he was just taking notes or something by hand. And he even told me today, he like texted me saying like, oh yeah, it makes a huge difference like reviewing the footage, right? So if you guys aren't recording your at least matches, but even your training sessions right now, then I highly encourage you guys to do so. Yeah, you're gonna see a massive improvement, especially if you start reflecting and analyzing what what's going wrong and where you can improve. And hopefully these tips help. Keep on watching for week 3 and 4 of my group lesson footage.
So at the end of group training, we always play a game where there are 2 captains and they pick teams. Once the teams are chosen, you arrange your players in a specific order based off what you think the other team's gonna do with their order. And then you essentially play a game where each matchup, there's 4 points, and then we play to some arbitrary number, usually between 30 and 50 points.
here. Stay here. Go. Stay. Go. 对，你 stay here. Good.
Nice, nice. Come on, Josh. Stay down, Josh. You can do it.
I just had to rest in peace the recipe. Rest of us ran in the sand, leave the 10. If you're up right now, hope you hear what I'm saying.